Good morning, friends. I hope everybody's having a great day and it'll continue on throughout the day. I know I am. Anyway, I've said before how much I just loved my grandmother. She was a very special person in my life. And I spent a lot of time there. That's how I learned how to cook and bake and everything. So my grandmother would bake about twice a week. And I would go help her. And then after we were done, she would pack up certain things and she'd send me out through our little town with cookies, cakes, breads, whatever, little care packages to several different people in the town. And we had a lot of, widows, widowers, bachelors, and what they called spinsters. These were older women that had never gotten married. So I would go to their home, knock on the door, have the care package, and each one of them would invite me in. And then we would sit and chit chat and maybe eat a cookie and a glass of milk they would give me or whatever. And I would do that at several different houses during the day because I'd do one delivery and then I would come back to grandma's and then I'd take the other delivery. Because I started doing that at a very early age, probably about 5 or 6. And it continued on till each one of those people had passed away because a lot of them didn't have a lot of family around or anything. So my grandmother was very open to taking care of people. She was always worried people weren't going to have enough to eat. And she was very generous. And I'm telling you what, they were lucky people because she was a heck of a baker. She was really, really good at it. And she was used to having so many kids, like she didn't know how to do a batch of cookies like for normal people, or not normal people, but a normal sized family. Um, she just didn't know how to make a batch that small because we'll get into that in another time about her recipes because it's basically how it looks, how it tastes, how it feels, whatever. There weren't actual measurements to a lot of things. She just knew how to make things. So I realized later that I was not only taking them food, but I was their only company for the week. Their little visits that I had twice a week, they look forward to. And you can see now why I'm so chatty because, I've been doing it a long time, sitting with people chit chatting. So it was good for me and it was good for them. And I learned to be kind and I learned to be charitable. And I carried that on in my own life. Um, Now I don't have close neighbors, but where I lived before, if I made a big pot of soup, I had a couple people that were elderly or lived alone or whatever, and I would package up some soup so they have a bowl or two of soup, and I would go around the neighborhood, have a visit, give them the soup because I'm not going to eat a great big huge batch of soup. Now out here, I can it now, but that's because I don't have anybody really to give it to because I'm really out in the middle of nowhere. So anyway, I realized that I might have been one of the first door dashers back in the 60s and the 70s. But I just wanted you to know something really special about my grandmother. And that was one of the things about how kind she was to other people. And that's another reason I started the channel because I knew there were lonely people out there. Remember, there's 400 million people without any friends. That's crazy to me. So I don't want people to feel lonely. So please like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. We want to keep it going. And remember to be kind to others because it only takes a moment and doesn't cost you a thing. And I would really love to hear if you guys did anything similar in your past or you're doing it now or whatever. I really would like to hear about it. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye now.